Hey everybody, welcome to a new year of Decipher the Media, the podcast where we talk about all things in creative media. After a short break, we're finally back with some new episodes. I know that I was going to release these at a more frequent rate, but I got tied up with a couple other film projects back in the fall. Which led to some things I had to do on my own time and sort of put this on the back burner in the process. But now that I'm finally getting some more free time, I'm getting back into releasing some more episodes. Not going to promise any sort of release schedule, at least not just yet, but definitely going to try to push them out more frequently this year than I did last year. Last year I only got around to putting out 3 episodes total, so not great, but at least it was something. This year definitely going to push to do more. So this will be the first one of the year. And in this episode, I got to sit down with my friend Dan Suriano. He is a musician for a band, progressive metal band called Nephele, who I actually had the honor of working with back in the fall. That was actually one of the projects that I worked on, as I helped them shoot a music video. So that was a great experience. And before that all happened, I got to sit down with him and just sort of talk to him about what it's like working with the band, what it's like for him to work as a guitarist and a songwriter, the process of releasing music with the band, his whole history with the band and how he got started making music for the band and with the other band members. What it's been like to play in live shows, the process of songwriting or writing music, the process of song composition, and what all inspires that whole process. So it's very interesting. It's a very music-focused episode of Decipher the Media, which is something that I haven't really had a chance to touch on much before, other than a few little things here and there. So we really get to dive into what it's like to create music, and what the process is like for someone who is very musically inclined. So it's very interesting if you're someone who loves music or loves to play music of any sort, or perform music of any sort. This episode is definitely for you. So here we are with Decipher the Media, episode number 12 with Dan Suriano. Enjoy.
Be helpful.
I'm recording. Oh, is my thing going to keep dinging like that? I'm just going to turn the sound off.
I heard a ding.
Yeah, it's because Adobe Creative Cloud is out of storage. In case you didn't know,
Rip.
It's like the 400th time it's told me that it's out of storage.
I think you need a new hard drive or something, bro.
No, it's a cloud storage. So unless I pay more money, I don't get more storage.
I just want that cash, bro.
And I'm
just
not made of money, so
because you work.
Adobe's not getting.
You work
more.
at. Disclaimer.
Work at. Beep.
Yeah, please. You gotta bleep that out in post.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just edit it out in post. NBD. Are we
Work
actually
at
recording?
Beep. We get paid lots of money at our jobs.
Yes, we do. I love how much money I get paid.
I love all the money that I get paid at my day job. It is great. It is wonderful.
Everyone should work
at beep. Yes, it is a wonderful company. I don't know if I should keep that in there or not.
Yes. Yes.
You
No,
should.
probably not. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe I'll just bleep it a lot.
It would be funnier that way.
And so, do I need to adjust the levels at all? Or is this good? Testing.
Whoop.
You are coming in a little hot.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You are
Testing.
You are very hot.
You're not the first person to tell me that today.
Oh, that is the wrong thing that I'm adjusting there. Yeah. Who else told you that today?
Disclosed. That information is confidential. I thought you were going to close that window, bruh.
Oh, I was.
You should.
Sorry.
It's okay. Just
You don't want to have people cheering at you while you're talking?
I say something cool, and you just hear the screams from outside. Yay!
Like, oh, yeah. That was a very good point. Good point.
You need somebody or like a soundboard of somebody doing that kind of thing. Like, do you watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I have watched the whole.
The douche. He's got like a guy like adding sounds at that, like after everything like claps and like sex noises and everything.
The douche. Yeah, that guy's recording.
I thought so.
Because that dude is recording over there. We have a cameraman in the corner. Hi,
cameraman.
In the corner. It's not really. But we can make it.
It's our imaginary friend.
The illusion that there is a cameraman.
They're not magic tricks, Michael. They're illusions. Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Nice.
The final character.
Yeah. I'm glad you got that reference. I feel like not a lot of people watch that show.
Oh, I love that show. That's like my favorite comedy, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually just started watching it like a month or two ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I never really like gave it a chance before, and now I'm on mostly through season 4. Yeah. I watch it on my lunch breaks.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. It's a slow progression.
It's really weird.
Am I still too close?
No, you're fine.
That's good.
You're fine. I'm just...
Testing, 1, 2, okay.
I'm being super anal about it. What? Because
You said anal.
Yeah, I said anal. Really? You're gonna be a child about this? Alright. So, here we are. I've been trying to get you on my podcast for like months now, and you keep turning me down.
I've been a jerk about it, but
giving me excuses about it.
Finally made it.
Like, I got important things to do, like make songs and stuff.
Yeah, man. I work the full-time job, media application coordinator by day, guitarist / sleeper at night. I like to do a lot of sleeping at night. Really helps.
Do you do both at the same time sometimes?
Yeah.
You can play in your
play
sleep.
In my sleep.
That's pretty impressive.
I sleep while I play.
I want to see that, honestly. Do you dream about playing?
It's actually happened, not often, but it has, yeah. Once or twice, maybe.
Okay.
I do, you know what? I do remember having a dream once where I, like, basically wrote a song in my sleep. Like, I could hear the fucking... sorry, I probably shouldn't be swearing on the podcast.
No, you can say fuck. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay, cool. I like this better now.
Yeah. It's an explicit podcast. You can say whatever you want.
Nice. As long as you label it so no children are misleaded.
It is labeled explicit, actually, on the iTunes and all that.
Really? So, you're on iTunes?
Yeah, iTunes.
Excellent.
iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, and I still want to try to get on Spotify. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's not hard.
Yeah. There's services out there that do that kind of thing.
Yeah, you just get
DistroKid and CD Baby.
I'm on Podbean.
Okay. Yeah, it might be different for podcasts versus music.
Yeah.
I'm used to like the music ones.
Like you can do podcasts on SoundCloud too, which is
I mean that's an easy way to do it. Yeah, just upload the files.
That's how we did the first podcast I produced. We produced it on. Or we put the episodes on SoundCloud, and then I think we moved it off of there or we started paying for it or something. Well, I didn't start paying for it. The host started paying for it, but
your previous one, right?
Yeah, my previous podcast. So now I'm paying for it, but yay.
No other choice.
But yeah, it's nice, and then you can just set up an RSS feed to go to the like the other audio stores like iTunes and Google Play and stuff.
Yeah, all in one place, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And and then you just have to kind of well, there's like I think there was like an approval process, so it takes a couple days or something, and then every time you upload an episode, it takes a while to process it and get it onto the store. I don't know if they have to check the content or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like some kind of, approval, like you said. I know, at least for the ones that I've used, CD Baby specifically, like you can set a release date. You tell them that you want to release that on a certain day, and they'll just hold on to it until it's that day.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, I'm going to announce this EP or something to come out on whenever, October 1st. And then once you submit it to them, they'll just keep it, and as soon as October 1st hits, it's there. It's out there. I don't know if it works the same for your those other services, but I like that.
That's really cool. So do you use that for like the music that you produce then and all that?
Yeah,
jazz?
we'll be using something like that for when the time comes to release this EP.
Okay. And what is can you talk about the EP yet or not?
Yeah, yet? I would love to. So I don't think Steve was polite enough to introduce me, but
well, I do a cold open that I record separately.
Oh, okay.
So we can just kind of get right into it. We don't have to do official introductions or anything like that.
I like that. I mean, I figured most people already know who I am, but just...
I mean, yeah, you're pretty famous.
For those that don't, my name's Dan, and I joined this band called Nephele about going on like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So the story of the band, at least from my point of view, is that my old band and Nephele, my old band being A Friendly Gesture, rock and roll.
Cool.
We opened for a touring. Both bands opened for a touring band. Thank You Scientist, who Steve and I are both a fan of.
Yeah, I love Thank You Scientist.
Their new album is fantastic. Check it out, Terraformer.
I still have to check it out.
It's really good. It's really good. Album of the year, in my opinion.
I was gonna pre-order the vinyl thing, and I never did. So
shame on you, man.
I know.
Shame on you. I've just been
it's
streaming
still available, I'll order it.
I've just been streaming it like 1,000 times a week. No big deal.
Usually, I order vinyls of like.
Yeah, you got a good collection. Yeah.
Like of artists that because I don't know. I support artists that way. By,
I feel like I should do that more.
Yeah.
Being an artist myself, I just I don't know. Depends, if it's like something I really, really like, I'll definitely splurge on it. But
yeah,
I'm never like sitting there like waiting for the pre-order to happen or something. No.
Yeah.
But yeah. So me and my old band and Nephele, before I joined the band, we both opened for Thank You Scientist on the same night at the Hard Rock Cafe here in Pittsburgh. And basically the drummer saw me up there, and that was like the first time we all met.
Yeah.
And they were real complimentary of our sound and everything. They really liked my playing. And a few days or weeks go by. I don't really remember, time frame specifically, but he reached out to me, the drummer did, and basically told me that, that he had like some kind of falling out with the two previous guitarists due to creative differences. Like they wanted to add a singer, but Nephele has always been an instrumental band, and that was kind of like the ideal behind the band when the drummer founded it in the first place.
Oh, gotcha.
And that was even before those two guitarists joined. They were instrumental.
Yeah.
So they've always been instrumental. These guys wanted to make it a more vocal present band so they could low-key write easier music. That was kind of like a big part of it, was a little bit of laziness in there. So they got kicked out. The bassist at the time became their guitarist, and then they asked me to join. And at the time I was working on like a solo guitar EP, So I just said I'll stick with that, and I decided to play guitar with them instead of playing bass, which is what I was doing for my previous band.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you're all well rounded there.
Yeah, I like to think so, at least. Bass was my main instrument for a while, and then I kind of switched over to guitar as of joining Nephele, I guess.
Yeah.
And I really like it, actually. It's a nice change of pace, and it helps me think musically in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
As opposed to like writing bass lines and being a bass player. It's more like standout-y stuff.
Yeah, what is the process for you, like, to write
process.
music?
It's it's a process of ebb and flow, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like. A lot of people will be like real definitive about their process. Like, oh yeah, I sit down and I surround myself with candles and I drink a half bottle of liquor. I had a roommate.
Like,
yeah. I had an old roommate who was all like, oh yeah, dude, I'll take like some codeine and drink like some whiskey and smoke weed and then I'll start writing.
Do a couple lines of cocaine.
Yeah, he was like, he had to be like so fucked up that he could barely look straight to write his music, and I was like, that's why your music sucks. But anyway, we digress. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have like a set process or anything. It's just when inspiration strikes, I kind of like to take advantage of that and hone in on that, and kind of just let it flow from there. Like, I've had times where I would get up in the morning and like just want to write that day, and I wrote like half a song or like almost a full song outline in like a day or two.
Yeah,
because it was just like, I don't know, like that was the flow of that time. But like other times I'll go without writing anything for like not even like a riff or anything for like months.
Yeah, I think that's how I do it with writing, is like I'll go through periods of time where I just don't have, nothing really strikes me, which is fine. I mean, I still consider myself a writer even if I go through periods.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's not like just because you haven't written anything recently, you're not that thing anymore,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and people say that you should do it regularly to keep up with it, but everybody works differently.
Yeah.
And it's not
totally
always
agree.
like, that's whatever, some one person says or does isn't going to be the same for another person. So, it's just, I get that process where, you're just, you could be anywhere, doing something else, and all of a sudden it just strikes you, and now you're back into that mode again where, creatively you're in that mindset.
That's sometimes like the worst feeling for me, because I do get that, what you just described, kind of, once in a while when I'm like out or driving around or something, and I'll have like a musical idea that just like pops into my head.
Oh, and
I can't do anything with it.
Like, I guess you could like maybe start a recording and just be like,
yeah, that sometimes that works out, but like it's often it doesn't, like, once you like actually get back home or whatever to go sit down with your guitar or your instrument and you try to like transcribe it from that vocal recording, it doesn't always come out how it originally had in your head.
Same way you had in your head. Yeah. It's like having a dream that you forget the details of when you wake up. It's like so
exactly.
Vivid,
but you kind of like remember.
But like
bits
as
and
you
pieces.
like wake up, you start to forget that the details of it as time progresses.
Yeah.
So.
It felt like it felt really really vivid at the time, but a little time goes by and it's kind of fading away.
Right. And how do you like for someone who doesn't understand how music is written, like what do you do exactly in the process? Like, just.
Okay, that's a good question. So like, okay, I usually start with an idea. So as far as songwriting goes, that's kind of what you're asking. Okay, yeah. So like, I'll start with an idea. It helps if I have an idea that feels like an intro to a song.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that isn't, super complicated or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Something that can like gently open up a song or something like that. That feels more introductory than something that's more substance based, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's obviously a great starting point, and then I'll try to layer that. Like a specific song that comes to mind, which will be released on our upcoming EP.
Mm-hmm.
This song is called Bounce House, and this is going back to what I kind of said earlier. It's like one of those where I almost wrote most of it in like a day or two, because it just like it flowed really well, and the ideas kind of fit together nicely. But
Okay.
started with like a clean riff, and it was like a pretty simple chord progression with like some slight fills in there, and then added a real basic drum beat, because I just wanted it to be almost like a simplistic but poppy type sound in for this intro. And that's important too, I think, is like knowing what direction you want a piece to go. Like you can't like have something and start on it but not really like know where it's going.
Right.
Like it helps to have like, okay, I want this to sound kind of poppy, or I want this to sound really heavy,
just a
or something.
Vague idea or a theme.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah. Theme definitely helps too, and that was a big part of writing this song, was that it was very theme based actually. So I layered. I spent a little while like trying to work on a really catchy melody, and eventually came up with something that I really liked, and then layered that on top of this opening riff, and then I used that theme kind of throughout the song in different spots, loosely though. Like I didn't like copy the same exact melody the same exact way. I'll like vary it up slightly, like change note lengths.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like slightly altered or something like that. But still has like, it's still reminiscent of the opening theme.
Huh. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. It almost sounds like, I mean, that's kind of the process I do with writing like stories, so it kind of sounds similar to songwriting, just starting with a basic idea and then just starting from the beginning. And I don't know, how I do things is I have the basic skeletal structure in place, and then I add layers to each act.
No, that's
in the story.
exactly like the same process, more or less. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then how do you translate it from, well, I guess that goes more into music theory, is like translating it from paper to actual. Is that how you do it? You translate it from paper to
guitar or something?
To guitar, or
usually the opposite actually. Cuz I don't know, when I write, like we're a progressive metal band, so I don't like to label us as progressive metal strictly, but like cuz we take other influence from like cinematic type music and pop and jazz, funk, and all kinds of stuff, really.
Yeah.
So progressive, but usually progressive stuff is the songs are compositionally longer than a lot of other songs. Like our shortest song on this EP is like just shy of 6 minutes.
Right.
So it's hard to remember all that, especially when you're like writing it and modifying things down the road. So usually I'll start by writing something on my guitar, having that idea, and then like messing around with it until it's where I like it, and then I'll take that and tab it out. And there's software that you can use that, and you play a little guitar, so I'm sure you've seen like guitar tabs before. Yeah, so there's software that you can use that you like just tab it out, and you type in like 135 for those frets, and it'll put the notes onto the staff for you. because I'm not like super theory based when I do stuff. I mean, like I like to consider theory when I'm writing and when I'm actually like playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't like reading sheet music, and I've never been like
it's
focused
more,
on that.
Yeah, it's more of like your process is, as you said, it's based on just playing and just getting it to where you want it to be.
Yeah. It's the way I see it, like theory versus tab, or not theory, notation, like music, traditional music notation.
Yeah.
Versus tabs, it's like two ends to the same mean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Two means to an end.
Yeah.
2 means to the same end.
You know, just because, like some people, I mean, you don't have to be classically trained in music to get the concept down.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Especially guitarists often joke that guitar isn't a real instrument because we don't like have to read sheet music, you know, because we can just read tabs, you know, whatever.
Right.
But no, I still like to treat it with like, I guess the respect of being an instrument, and you know, trying to keep the foundation of theory fresh. But still, it helps to not like confine yourself to traditional theory, because then you can, I don't know, that stuff gets boring when you do that.
Right.
Like you can kind of like box yourself in and like designate yourself to rules, quote unquote rules, that aren't necessarily rules. They're not supposed to be taken as that. It's more like a foundation for how things not should, but can be.
Yeah, and you want to, I mean, everybody wants to kind of think outside the box.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to be combined by those rules.
Yeah, and I find that the more you like try to stick in with like theory, and the more your stuff just kind of sounds generic.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not like super advanced with my theory or anything, so that kind of helps, I think, with outside thinking.
Okay.
And writing like chord progressions, for instance, that.
Yeah, because you're not thinking in the traditional mindset. You're really, taking it in a direction that, like someone who was trained in that probably would not, because they're just so used to.
Yeah, exactly.
That
they know, in the back of their mind, they're like, okay, it has to be like this type of chord progression, 1-4-5 or something like that, which is like a real common chord progression.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I'll maybe use that as a foundation or something, and then kind of expand on it, and like add something like totally ballpark, or out of the ballpark that doesn't necessarily fit in.
Okay.
But it still does.
Yeah.
And I like to try to find ways to make it fit in.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
experiment,
And then how does the other instrument, like when your bandmates, how did they? Yeah, getting that noise.
Disclaimer:
in there.
Honey Holly water bottles sponsor me.
We don't have any sponsors for this podcast. I don't know. I'm not that popular.
Then why am I here?
What? I mean, we have lots of listeners. Dozens.
Sending money all the time.
Dozen. There's
dozens of us. Donations, and
there's dozens of us.
Gifts.
Another Arrested Development reference there.
I missed that one. What was that? What is that from?
The Never Nudes.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
Of
Tobias
us.
And his
dozens
jean underwear.
Yeah. So, anyway, what was I saying?
Something about other instruments, maybe?
Yeah, so how do you work together with others to write music then?
That's the hard part,
okay.
Actually. I mean, not necessarily. I do find like I get the most writing done kind of on my own. Because sometimes like it helps to just kind of like, I don't know, sit alone in your room and just write and try to work on something until you get some ideas down.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say that when it comes to like instrumentation, because I guess that was kind of like your question.
Yeah.
Other instruments, like I said a few minutes ago, we get influence from a lot of other things, especially like cinematic music. So that kind of thing, like me and our drummer Jake will spend a lot of time like up in his space, trying to find ways to add layers and backing tracks to our songs.
Yeah.
Orchestral arrangements, things like that, because I really like having like big like violins and cellos and that kind of thing, like just to add a lot of substance to the music. Even if it's not like front and center, it's good to have it like as a layer, and it builds like emotion and feel in the music.
Like sort of John Williams type feel.
Yeah. John Williams or Danny Elfman or Hans Zimmer, especially. Those are like some of those big names.
Yeah,
they're fantastic. Fantastic movie music score composers.
Right.
So yeah, we definitely get influence from people like that, and try to incorporate extra instrumentation and layers into our stuff. And that's definitely more easy to do as a group, I think, because we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. Like, okay, what if we had like this kind of part here or something like that?
Yeah.
But just like casual riff writing as opposed to like orchestration, I think I do better on my own.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I've definitely come up with some of my favorite riffs just like sitting alone playing my guitar.
Right. And when you're playing with others, do you have like I guess you did say you have a space that you kind of do it in.
Yeah. We Jake has this. He's got like this really really nice like $1,000 suite of Native Instruments complete. Sponsor us. We use Native Instruments complete. It's a extremely accurate and versatile bunch of sounds, like a sound bank.
Okay.
It has strings and synthesizers and woodwinds and pianos and drums and basses, everything you could ask for and imagine. Sounds that you've probably never heard of, but always wanted to hear, like that kind of thing. Like anything you can think of, you can like make this sound like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we'll just use that to layer up our tracks and add atmosphere and harmony and
that's cool.
Other instrumentation in there.
Yeah. And then
because unfortunately we can't hire a orchestra to play these parts for us.
Really?
Unfortunately not.
Hire like the Pittsburgh Orchestra to
I mean that would be the dream, honestly. That would be fantastic.
Like those, because I know that there's I forget who it was. There somebody who made a short film, like actually hired like a I don't know if it was like a bunch of student orchestra or something from a school, and they like brought him into a recording studio and did the soundtrack for the movie.
Really? Like a local movie or like a big...
it was a local movie. I remember reading about it and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
I would imagine they got some kind of budget or were able to pay them somehow.
I think there was some sort of budget on it, but
that definitely helps.
But just an idea for the future when you're making bank off of your music, and
that would be nice. There's I know like two totally different artists came to mind when talking about that. Tenacious D actually did I don't know if it was a one-off show or a series of shows. I think at what's the place called, like Red Rock or something in Colorado.
Okay, yeah.
Where they hired a huge orchestra.
To
play behind them, which I would have loved to go see that because Jack Black and Kyle Gass are
they're
amazing.
Yeah, I remember when they were coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and, tickets sold out like within
that was so disappointing.
The first couple minutes.
I really wanted to go to that.
On sale.
I was pretty bummed about that. That was really sad. Really sad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know they did something like that where they hired a whole orchestra of people to play with, and a little lesser known name, Devin Townsend. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I do know.
Do you know?
Townsend.
Yeah, he's kind of out there. I'm not like the biggest fan of his music, but I can definitely respect his compositional skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can write some like really great orchestral stuff, and it goes from super super heavy to like the prettiest, most lush sounds that you'll ever hear, like in the blink of an eye too. And it's really really wild, but he does what he does really well.
I know that was it Casey Crescenzo and the Deer Hunter do a lot of that type of music. I don't know if he like if he has like, well, he actually released his own orchestra album. Like he had
like not attached to the Deer Hunter.
Not attached to the Deer Hunter. He did a whole, like it was just a live orchestra like recording.
And he actually got real people to record this.
Yeah,
nice.
And it was like really cool. I don't know what his process is.
I should check that out. That would be
in the
interesting.
Deer Hunter, but yeah, he did this thing. It's under his name, Casey Crescenzo.
He's the main guy, right? He's the main.
I forget how to pronounce his
main guitarist or singer.
Yeah, he like produces all the music for it. Yeah. Like he's like the sole band member, and then he just has some other people who.
They were a good example of what we're talking about, because they I don't know a lot of their music, but from what I've heard and seen, they do very almost like musical,
mm-hmm.
like theatrical.
Yeah,
type
it
stuff.
Is very theatrical. Like I love that theatrical feel to it. Like
yeah,
it feels like they're putting on a play or a show.
Yeah, exactly. And the albums are titled like act numbers, aren't they?
Yeah,
like Act 1 through 5. I think
most of them, they've
or at least a few. Yeah,
offshoot stuff, but yeah, because he's it's like they're concept albums where they're based around an actual story that he wrote, and the songs are parts of that story. It's like kind of like what Coheed and
Cambria. Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They do like it's based on like a story,
characters and a story,
characters and all that stuff, and then the songs are like what, just musical pieces that tell that story.
To tell the story, yeah. Just like a musical almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I always thought that was really impressive. Like definitely not something I would have the imagination or time to think about. But people that do that, you got to respect that. Like that's a very like very wide way of putting a lot of different things together.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling and music and composition. And it's just kind of mind-boggling that people can come up with all that stuff.
Yeah, you really have to just know what you like. Not only be talented musically to think up to write this stuff, but to just be able to coordinate all of that.
That too, yeah.
Into like an album, that just amazes me.
You have to be a storyteller, a composer,
right?
An instrumentalist if you're the one playing the music.
Yeah.
Just a jack of all trades, basically.
Yeah, you just have to have some real talent for that, and I never really thought about that until we talked to we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
That's
definitely something to consider.
A lot of work that goes into that.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine how long it takes.
So where are you at with your process now, basically?
Well, speaking of not being able to imagine how long something takes, we are about, I want to say, roughly 18 months into this.
Okay.
4 song EP.
Yeah.
So that to break it down, that kind of includes about 6 months of writing. I think I don't know the exact time frame that this all happened in, but I want to say about 6 months of writing. Then I recorded bass over the course of like maybe 2 or 3 months. And another thing that kind of delayed the process, keep in mind, was the producer we're using had a pretty limited schedule because, one, he works every other weekend. So we basically only had the weekends that he was off to really like sit down and dig into the recording process.
Ah, gotcha.
So that kind of made things take twice as long, almost, just about.
Right.
But at the same time, he was also producing, mixing and mastering 2 rap albums for different rappers. Not even from here, actually. From somewhere else. One might be from here. I don't remember the details exactly, but shout out to Marvelous and Swavsky. You guys are awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. I heard the stuff that they released together, and Jimmy Glass, he's a man of magic. He knows what he's doing. He made those tracks sound incredible. Oops.
Nice.
Just knock the table here.
You're breaking everything.
Might be. But yeah, Jimmy did a great job. So if you need some mixing work, his name is Jimothy Glass on Facebook. Look him up. He will hook you up and make your tracks sound beautiful.
I was popping the
We're popping bottles back here.
Popping
champagne.
Pop champagne.
On a water break. But yeah, he was doing those 2 rap albums kind of at the same time as we were like recording this.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot to
take on. Yeah. And then eventually, like, I had an idea of just because he has like a nice piece of gear that we used to record, and eventually I was like, well, can I just take it home and record the rest on my own? And then that's kind of what we did from that point on.
Okay.
Because it wasn't too big or anything, so I just brought it home and like plugged it into my home studio setup and started recording the rest of the tracks back on my own.
Yeah.
And that definitely sped things up quite a lot. The main problem with guitar recording, though, was that we had another member. Your cat is...
I turn the keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I just switch it off when she's nearby.
Cat's laying on the keyboard.
She can't mess
she's comfy,
up.
though. She's comfy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But yeah, the reason the guitars took so long was because right as I was finishing up recording my own parts, and we're an instrumental prog band, so our music is 90% guitar.
Right.
Just right as I was almost finished recording my own guitar parts and ready for the next guy to step in and like start doing his, he kind of quit the band.
Oh.
So we were not really sure what to do then.
Okay.
And so I was like, we were trying to brainstorm, like, okay, do we find some guy that's really good in the Pittsburgh music scene and have him record all these parts? Do we, hire somebody, or do we just like spam Facebook and get people to do, try to look for somebody on there? And then eventually I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna learn all these parts on my own, because I'm I wrote half of these songs, but like some of the parts were leads and more complicated things that he wrote that he added to the songs that I'd never touched because he was always playing them for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't really, it was something I never really had to consider. So I was just like, screw it, I'm gonna learn these, I'm gonna get them down, and I'm gonna record them on my own. We don't need to find somebody else. I'm just gonna do it. Just like Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. I pulled a Thanos and wiped out half the universe's population, and here we are.
Oh, you asshole! Wow.
Things are perfectly balanced. So.
Yeah. I got nothing. But how long did that take you to do all that then? to like
It
learn all those
It wasn't
parts?
as bad as I thought it would be.
Okay.
I don't know why, like, I was hesitant to do it at first. Just because, like, I don't know, it's just, like, used to him playing it, so I was like, oh, man, I gotta learn all these other parts now, in addition to all the ones that I already have on my own. But it really wasn't that bad. Like, I would kind of, like, take it section by section and, like, one difficult part at a time, and just, like, I learned that, get it down really well, record it, move on to the next one, and just keep that up over probably the course of a month, maybe, to really just finish off all these extra parts. So I did that. I've finished editing those tracks, and then about a month ago we compiled everything that I recorded on my own back into the projects on Jimmy's computer.
Yeah.
Lined everything up, and then I started editing the tracks too. So now all the edits are done. We just have to Jimmy's just got to mix it, and that's kind of it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
things are going really well for that. It's pretty damn close.
Yeah. So you don't have like a release date per se, but you know that it's getting there.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely getting there. Nothing permanent or nothing definitive yet. But if I had to guess, I would say like November, December. We're really shooting for that.
Cool.
Because we don't want to push this into 2020 because it's just been way too long already.
Yeah. So you're gonna kind of go into crunch mode and get that hashed out.
I think that's a pretty reasonable goal, though. Give it like 2-3 months max.
Yeah.
Even 2 is plenty reasonable enough.
Right. And then how does that? So you record the process. You have it all in place. It's out there to the public and everything. Now you have to, now you're going to play those songs live to an audience. How does that translate? Because obviously the parts that you wrote and that you recorded, you can't do that all live. What do you do there?
Well, we compositionally we try to limit the guitar tracks going on at the same time to like 2 or 3 max.
Okay.
So we don't have to like, I don't want to say fake it, but like backtrack it or something.
Right.
Because it's easy to do, like have one person playing rhythm guitar and one person taking a lead or a solo or something like that. Because that's how like most bands are set up.
Right.
So that's kind of what we do in a live setting. We have, I know what my parts will be. Our other guitarist, somebody, I forgot to mention, we had somebody take the place of the guy that left, and he's been doing great. His name is CR, and he's a fantastic guitarist, and he's really dedicated, like enjoys practicing the songs, and really likes what we're doing musically.
Cool.
And we all mesh well together, so
awesome.
He's been awesome for this whole process so far. But yeah, so I know my parts, CR knows his parts. We like kind of divvied those up in the tabs and the notation that we have. And so we both know what we're supposed to play. And as far as like other instrumentation goes, maybe if that's what you were getting at too, we have backtracks that we'll just send to front of house, and there's like a MP3 file or something that just goes through the PA speakers at a live show, and
I didn't know that
plays through.
That's how that works.
Yeah, and a lot of bands do that actually. Like I'm sure you've seen bands where there's like weird intro noises or something like that, or like a build up, like a volume swell, or just random sound effects thrown into their live set. It's like, where's that coming from? Well, it's just probably just an MP3 file.
That's cool. Kind of like seeing what's going on behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So How much have you guys played live so far? Or have you done a lot of shows in the past already?
Well, we've done one show. I've done one show with the band, and that was before that other guitarist left. And shows haven't necessarily been a priority.
Right, you're more in the recording process.
Yeah, we've
right
just
now.
been like really just trying to get the EP done.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't help that we don't have the EP out, because if you're trying to play a show, especially if you're trying to open for a touring band or something like that, and you hit up some what do they call it, like a promoter or whatever, they're gonna be like, okay, well, what you got?
Yeah,
like
they want to hear something. You can't just be like, oh, we're just gonna play some stuff, and they'll just be like, okay.
Yeah, exactly,
good.
exactly. They want to know that you're like active and that you have content and music out. And the last thing the band put out was before I even joined, so it's like 2 years old at this point.
Right.
So they go to the Facebook page or something. They see like, oh, single from 2017, pass. So we haven't been trying that actively to get shows, but once this comes out, we have a lot of content and videos and playthrough type things planned for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will be doing with you.
Yeah.
Actually, on that note.
Yeah. So we have a video planned to record. Of you guys playing the one song, and that's going to be a cool process. We have a location. Still got to scout out that location. So once we do that, then it's more or less figuring out how we want to shoot it, and I'm getting some of my guys on board, and then you'll have your bandmates.
Yep. More stuff for you guys to figure out, because I'm not the video dude,
right?
Video visionary, but
yeah, we'll get the shots in place and kind of get, obviously part of the process is collaborating with you guys and knowing what you want and what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we are all on the same page, then all it is putting together a shots list, the blocking for the shoot, scheduling everything, and then just going for it and recording it.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited, because it helps to have like a professional group, or even just an individual with this kind of experience and background, because like that's obviously not something I've dabbled with. Like I can set up a camera in my room and record playing a riff or something, but like
right.
this is totally different. And when you have like a director's directive vision, that really helps kind of make it professional and bring it all together.
Yeah.
And I've kind of always wanted to do a project like this. I just didn't have the means or the know-how to do it.
Yeah.
Or the equipment for that matter.
I mean, this is a project that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've done every other types of videos possible, but music videos or playthrough videos or anything, relating to that.
Yeah.
It's something I haven't really had a lot of experience with, and that's why I jumped at the chance to do something like this.
Yeah, man, we're basically we feel the same way. The same way.
And I'm bringing on my buddy Ian, who's also been on the podcast before, who you just met actually a little bit ago. He's going to be helping with it. He's done music videos before, so he has a lot of experience, and he has that director's vision that I might be lacking in, because I don't do a lot of directing. I'm more on the camera side of things most of the time.
That kind of thing.
So it's nice that to bring him on and have his vision and his ideas to sort of put to work this whole big plan of how we can do these things. And we have the locations down, like I said, and so we'll just have to sort of scout it out and hopefully get something in place in the next couple of weeks, because unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I'm going away on vacation.
Oh, darn, how unfortunate.
In 2 days, and we'll be gone for a whole week. So that's, but I'll be working through stuff while I'm still on vacation, probably, because I want to put out these podcasts. And
yeah, well, enjoy your vacation, man, and we can cross that bridge when you get back.
Yeah. So I love doing these kinds of things, and I'm sure as you love to write music and stuff, this is sort of my hobby, my thing to do, these projects and the writing portion.
Yeah, I think I even said this to Ian when I was meeting him briefly downstairs. It's good to have like a creative outlet outside of work,
right? Especially
like we both work at the same place, so we kind of know that it's not necessarily a very creative job. Right. It can have its moments.
Yeah,
it can definitely have its moments. But for the most part, I wouldn't say it is. But it helps, you get home and you got some personal creative project to work on, and it's encouraging.
Yeah, it definitely is. We all have to have our outlets, and, they say to do what you love. I mean, the reality of it is you can't always do what you love as a career.
Agreed. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not like the most lucrative or even possible for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of things that can factor in: money, location,
resources, who
you know, how you get that in. I mean, you can really work hard to get in there, but it all depends on, how much you're willing to work and how long it's going to take. And sometimes it's just you run out of the money, the time, the energy to do that. And, I've run into that in the past. I'm not discouraging anyone to.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of, like the Black Keys, for instance. I heard their kind of comeuppance story is that they were a band for like 10 years or more before they actually got noticed for anything.
Yeah,
and now they're huge.
What was it? I mean, they were still a pretty popular indie band, but Portugal the Man.
Oh yeah, and then they had that one song.
They had that one song that just blew up and was a #1 hit or something.
Yeah, now they're huge too. I'm sure they're selling out stadiums. And tours.
And it was like before that they released like at least 5 or more albums before that, and they've been around for years. But it was just that one song that finally.
Sometimes that's all it takes, right? Yeah. You just one song to get noticed, and
It's just amazing how that happens, but it's definitely, definitely work at your dreams and don't give up, because that's not what I'm saying.
Keep at it. Like, keep on keeping on.
Life is life, and you can't always expect the perfect outcome to everything, but it's a good. You still got to work at what you love doing, and. I mean, that's what we do. We have a day job, and then we have our
nighttime gigs.
Our nighttime gigs and stuff we love doing on the side. So, and hopefully one day maybe we can do that full time.
That's the dream, really. It kind of is.
So, what do you have? I don't know. What else do you have coming up, or would you want to promote? Do you still do your solo stuff?
Not really. Before I joined the band, I was thinking about continuing that.
Yeah.
And then they that's like when they hit me up, and so I've just kind of been using whatever I write for Nephele now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think that's fair, because I like being able to work with other people on this kind of thing too, because like they throw ideas at you, and it's more of a collaborative process. Plus our drummer is fucking ridiculously good, and it helps to have somebody who's like really talented behind the drums, writing drum parts, because my drum parts suck. I can't write drums for shit, to be completely honest. So yeah, that helps a lot, and just just working with other people is nice. It's fun and it's
Yeah.
rewarding.
I'm sure it also helps to take off some of the workload of
Definitely
it.
that too, and just I've made really good friends because of it.
Yeah.
I think that's another benefit there.
Making friends. Look at you.
Yeah.
Aw.
How cute.
Do you think you'll ever, maybe somewhere down the road, just do some solo stuff as like a side project, or?
Maybe it depends. Depends. I don't know where Nephele goes musically, and I don't know. Depends on a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah. Did you say what happened to you? Because you said you were in another band, right? So is that
Yeah.
is that done, or is it?
I don't. That's an open-ended question.
You guys are just sort of taking a break.
Sort of like we. So the reason it kind of like fizzled away is because I went to Duquesne.
Okay.
Our singer and guitarist went to West Virginia University.
All right. So a bit of a distance there.
Yeah, and our drummer went to Pitt, and he was a year younger than us.
Gotcha.
So we were gone for a whole year while he was still in high school.
Oh wow.
And we still I think we still played at least a few shows during that time. Like we played with Thank You Scientist together 2 years ago. So that was
Yeah.
I was still like
It's pretty recent.
I was like a junior, I think, in college.
Okay.
When we played that show together, and what was I gonna say? But yeah, we all kind of like went our separate ways and everything. And then our guitarist / singer, Joe, he wanted to kind of do his own thing. Little shout out to Joe Leatrick. He a good dude. He's very talented. He does like a singer-songwriter thing.
Okay.
And he at first he went by Hank the Businessman. And like he had like this whole shtick where he'd be like, Hank the Businessman, businessman by trade, and do this handshake thing, and he would wear like a suit and tie to all his gigs, or maybe just like a button-up shirt with a tie and everything.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun, but it was kind of corny, and I think he realized that because after a while he decided to drop that and just go by Joe Leatrick, his name.
Yeah.
And then that's when he started making music under that. And he did this whole project where it was called Project 28, where he would put out a song every month, like a single, instead of like an EP or an album or something like that. He would do like one song a month. And now he's still doing that. He's doing like guitar beats kind of on the side. Like he'll like come up with like a little, just like a progression or something. And then a producer will maybe buy it, or a lot of the ones he does are free, but I think he's made some money off of some of the other ones.
Oh, okay. So for like a sound database or something like that, or
so sort of. It's more like his own personal version of that. Like I don't think he's signed up through anything.
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's not like he might have done something with Splice, but I don't think it was like that detailed. But yeah, it's mostly just like posting a video on YouTube. It's like link below to the thing, tag me in the comments or something, or like tag me in when you release the track, just say like featuring my name, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So as long as he gets credit for it, he's like, here's a sample, just tell people about me, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And it seems to be working out for him. He moved to Nashville a few months ago.
Wow.
So he's pretty dedicated, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe someday you guys might do a reunion show or something.
That would be cool. Or at least I'm hoping for a reunion EP, because I actually wrote like 3 or 4 songs and sent them to them, and I've been waiting for them to write something for me.
Oh, okay.
I just wrote like a bass part, like a bass outline of an entire song, and I'm like, here, add drums, add guitar, throw me something back, and I'm still waiting on all of that.
I'm sure everyone, has their own lives to live and all that, as we do, and have our day jobs.
Yeah, and I definitely respect it. The drummer actually, he just started like his, what is it, a doctorate program?
Oh wow,
doctorate in math.
Oh,
not
okay.
like a medical doctor,
not
but
a medical doctor, but
still a doctorate,
still
PhD.
A doctorate. PhD.
So
cool.
I'm sure he's very busy.
Yeah, that's definitely probably eats up a lot of his time.
Yeah, he's a really smart guy.
Really
smart guy. Definitely to be doing doctorate in math.
Who was it that the lead in Weezer?
He has like a PhD in something, doesn't he? Yeah.
He like took a break from the band so that he could go finish his schooling and get like a PhD.
Do you know what it is? What it's in?
I don't remember now.
Neither do I.
Yeah. It was
I do. You're totally right about that though. I just forget the subject.
Yeah. I remember that when he did like I forget what album it was where they did like the Beverly Hills song and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it was like right after that he went back to school and the band took a break so that he could finish his schooling.
That's wild, man. People are so smart.
Yeah, yeah.
You're so smart. It blows my mind. The guy Brian May from Queen.
Yeah.
He has a PhD in astrophysics.
I think I did read that somewhere.
Yeah, that's even more mind-boggling. Like, he's an insane guitar player, but he also has a PhD in one of the hardest, most intelligently demanding fields. Yes. I would imagine.
Some famous like celebrities or artists do have, like I wish I could remember. There was somebody that I remember reading, like an actor that had. Who was the actor in Community?
I never watched that show. I've been meaning to. I heard it's really good.
I can't remember his name now, but
it's
I think
Donald Glover, is it?
No, it's not Donald Glover. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up while we're like recording this. He was a Spanish teacher.
A Spanish teacher.
In the and he was also in. Oh, he's been in a lot of stuff, but he was in Ken Jeong.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. He was in The Hangover.
The Hangover. That's
yeah. Oh, that guy's a genius. Oh, geez, what the fuck is that?
Did she really just bring that up in here? I'm pretty sure she dropped that out of her mouth.
Is that a cricket?
Yeah. She finds
there is crickets. Now a cricket in the room.
She finds these crickets all over the house, and then she has to show me it.
Does she just
like, hey, look at this.
What's she gonna do with it?
She's gonna play around with it until she murders it.
Fuck it up, cat.
And then I have to clean up her dead crickets. It's disgusting.
At least she's keeping herself busy.
Ken Jeong is an American actor, comedian, and physician.
Yeah, he's like a legitimate doctor. Yeah.
It's just like, it's insane.
That's really funny.
He does all that stuff. But
some people
are really
smart,
talented.
Yeah, so smart and talented.
Yeah. What was I gonna say after that? I lost my train of thought because we went down that tangent.
The cricket tangent.
Well, the cricket tangent, the Ken Jeong thing. I don't even know where hopefully it's not crawling around by my feet.
It might be. She's looking for it.
Oh God. I'm just gonna put my feet up. I don't want that crawling up my pant leg or something. Where was I gonna go with that?
Something about my old band. I don't know.
We did touch upon your
talking
old
about
band.
before that.
We did touch upon your old band.
Rewind the tapes.
Now you're tired of it. You're just gonna let it loose in here and come to me.
She got bored with the cricket.
She literally, I saw her like walk in the room, and I'm pretty sure she dropped it out of her mouth.
I saw something from the side of my eye, the corner of my eye over here, and
like she's like, oh,
next thing you know, there's a cricket.
You guys are in here.
Around.
I'm gonna play with this in here. I'm just like, oh, you little.
You guys
shit.
Check out what I found.
She's the worst sometimes. Is there anything else that you wanted to promote? Any other upcoming projects? Doesn't even have to be musically related.
I don't know, not necessarily. The music is kind of the
That is your thing.
the main project. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always promote hydro homies though. Drink lots of water, everybody.
Hydro homies.
If you're not familiar, that's a subreddit
Oh, okay.
where people are always reminding each other to drink water, and there's plenty
Hydro
of memes,
homies.
and it's fantastic.
I'll
As
have
an avid
to.
water drinker, I fully approve.
I'll have to add that onto my. Add that subreddit onto mine. Are you on Reddit a lot?
Oh yeah, Reddit's how I kill a lot of time at work. Don't tell my boss.
Hydro homies. All right, I'm joining the subreddit.
It's a fun
There we
one.
go. Yeah, I'm on Reddit. Do you post a lot on Reddit?
I don't really post. I'm more of a lurker, I guess.
Okay.
Just like read through forums and stuff.
I'm a lurker too. I used to be a lurker on Imager.
Yeah.
I
have an account. I've never posted anything.
I kind of went away from that because I was spending way too much time on it.
Yeah, I would
Like,
do.
I
I
was
would spend a lot of time on.
wasting way too much
Yeah,
time.
I would
So
be at work just like scrolling through
I had
memes.
to wean myself off of Imager, but I still go on Reddit to like look up memes and stuff. But
Reddit, I like Reddit because you can find memes and stuff, but there's a lot of good information on there too. Like people are very helpful.
Intelligent conversations.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of motivational stuff on there. I'm subscribed to to a bunch of like writing subreddits.
Yeah, exactly.
There's this one called Writing Circle Jerk that I'm a part of.
I don't want to know what that one's about.
People just post about stuff that they're writing, and I like just seeing what the thoughts that people toss around.
Yeah.
So
That's what I like about it. It's very very communal type feeling. Like people are always like super willing to help you out, and especially you're in a subreddit based on a particular interest. People are going to give you their thoughts on certain things and give you advice and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
so
there's
it's
plenty of
nice
information
to
to
have
find.
those communities that you can do those types of things, and those exist in any really anywhere. Like there's I found out there's this site that I haven't really committed to anything yet, but I was like kind of researching. It's called meetup.com. And what it is you can, if there's a particular subject that you like say I wanted to get into like writing groups is basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to like commit to like a writing group. I just didn't know how to like
get out there and
get
find
out
those
there.
people.
Well, I found this site called meetup.com, and you can go on there, and there's these people that they'll post on there that they meet every week to talk about like writing and stuff like that, and in places around Pittsburgh. And I thought that was really cool. I haven't done any of it myself yet, but I just thought that that resource exists there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Actually I've heard of that. I always assumed it was a dating app, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
It
a
does
dating
like a
site
dating
or a
app,
dating
yeah.
app, but it's actually like a place where people can meet to talk about whatever. I mean,
I might check that out, actually.
Yeah.
I could use something like that for
music.
Or I dabble in software development.
Oh yeah.
Loosely.
Yeah, you do that
Loosely.
a lot. Do that at work.
Sort of, yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen your work.
I'm
kind of.
I don't know. I definitely feel like I've been neglecting that aspect of my education.
Is that what you went to school for?
Yeah, I studied computer science at Duquesne, and I never I was decent at it, but like it wasn't something I put a lot of effort in.
Yeah.
Like I got good grades and everything, but I didn't like there were like some freaking nerds in there that were just
you weren't like
coding 24/7.
Coding all the time.
No.
Sitting in front of a computer in your dorm room, just coding
Exactly.
stuff.
Like in my free time, I was probably working on music or hanging out with people.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I do want to get back into it. It was. I enjoy it. I do. It's just it's very demanding.
Oh, I bet.
Time consuming, demanding.
I'm actually
requires a lot of knowledge to get around problems and solve
Yeah,
problems.
and you need to be really good at math and just really good at
Some things you do, others not as much.
Well, yeah.
Depends what like aspect of programming you're getting into.
That's true.
Like if you're getting into like machine learning, oh my god.
Yeah, I
PTSD from that class.
Something a lot of people don't know about me is I actually started out in computer science.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. You told me that maybe a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were drinking science. That's why I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. And I hated it because I was just not very good at it. And I just didn't have the attention span for it.
Yeah, you really need to like sit down and just that's what you're thinking about for several hours at a time.
It's just I don't have the focus to really do that sort of problem solving.
I kind of think that's the reason I fell out of it the way I did, is because I'm kind of ADD, and sitting down and focusing on like, you know, programming for several hours at a time is not the most lucrative thing for me.
Yeah, it's also why I'm not very good at video editing, because I can't sit for long periods of time and edit. Like I've done editing projects in the past, and it takes me forever because I have to take breaks like all the time.
Yeah,
I can't sit there for hours on end and do that. I have to go do something else and then come back to it. It's just it's a tough process for me. I love doing it, but I just don't have, you know, the focus I need to do something like that. So
yeah, it's really demanding, I would imagine. Like I edited most, if not all, of the audio tracks for our EP, and that takes a long time, but it also, like, you just have to, it's like I don't know, it's not like I have to really like think about it that much, but it's just something that you have to like sit down and like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna stop until it's done.
Right.
That's kind of like how I approach it. And then like if I don't get through like an entire track, it bothers me. Like it's not finished. I gotta keep going until it's done. And I'll get up and I'll, you know, take a walk around, go get a snack, or, you know, get some water, coffee, or something, and then just get back into it and make sure the track's finished.
Yeah, it
takes a while, but
I get into those sort of, with writing as well, I get into those sort of spaces where I'm not sure where I can go with it.
Oof.
Dropping your bottle.
Yep.
Well, there goes our sponsorship. Way to go.
Sorry, honey, Holly.
What was I saying? Yeah. Where I'm not sure where I want to take the story when I'm writing, so I have to kind of take a break from it and just get up and move around and sort of get the juices flowing again.
Yeah, that's definitely important too, especially for like creative things. Like, you're not gonna, I don't know, being stationary doesn't help with creative ideas.
Right.
And you know, I guess on that note, like, I recently started going to the gym, and I feel like I've had more creative ideas since starting that up.
Yeah, since I've been going back to the gym, because I've kind of I started back in last December, and then I've been getting back in shape, losing weight and all that stuff, and ever since, like, I can tell, like, physically I feel better, but also mentally I feel more driven than I have before.
Yeah, like you're just like more present and in the zone about a lot of things. Yeah,
so it definitely helps.
I totally agree, and that was kind of like one of the reasons I wanted to start going to the gym in the first place.
Right.
Because especially, like, we both work very sedentary jobs, and we kind of sit on our ass for a lot of the day.
Right.
So it helps to, you know, at the end of the day, just go to the gym and expel a bunch of energy, and then
absolutely absolutely, it definitely
get it all
helps.
out.
Just get that juice, you know, get the you know, everything, not only that, but also get
the blood flowing,
as well.
Exactly.
So definitely
get those creative juices going.
Oh, absolutely. How can people learn more about you? Do you have social media, a website, anything like that?
You can find me on Facebook, Dan Suriano. That's Suriano. And my Instagram is dan.suriano with a 0 instead of an O. at the end of Suriano.
Okay.
Fancy, I know, right?
Yeah.
And for all things Nephele, check out us on Facebook or Instagram. I'm sure we'll be like the first thing to come up. It's Nephele.
Okay.
That's Nephele, not Nephele or Nephele or Nephele or something, some other fourth thing. 'Cause there's all kinds of people giving us random names, but it's Nephele. Nephele.
Personally, I like Nephele. But kidding. Do you guys have like or are you planning on doing like a band camp or something like that in the future?
You mean like the website?
Yeah.
With well, I'm sure our music will be on Bandcamp once the EP is done, and I'm sure
Cool.
Bandcamp, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, all those major streaming services.
Things.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, gives something for people to look forward to in the coming months.
Yeah. I would hope so.
And I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
And,
You've been very supportive of the idea and the project.
I got to see you guys play, although it was only the tail end.
Showed up late.
I was late that day. I had to work late. Again, we have day
Missed
jobs.
most of our set.
I got to see the tail end of like your last song.
The last song,
set.
yeah.
But it was really good for what I saw.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play again. I'm looking forward to listening to
We'll be even tighter this time, and the EP will hopefully be out by then.
All right. I think that about does it. Any last words?
Stay hydrated, homies.
Stay hydrated, homies. That should be.
Check out Nephele on Facebook and Instagram.
That should be the new ending, the closer for this podcast. Stay hydrated, homies.
Yeah. Stay hydrated, homies.
We're
really homies.
Promoting that subreddit now.
It's going to be a lot of new subscribers soon.
There will be dozens.
Maybe even hundreds.
But probably dozens.
Maybe a few.